I hope everyone is doing well. Project CLAP, a student-run non-profit organization, is undertaken to accomplish the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. What sets CLAP apart from the other NGOs is its aim to cover all the 17 SDGs by strategically expanding into teams to focus on each SDG. We provide young activists with a platform to transform their strategies into reality. Project CLAP on April 23 started an online campaign to provide you a platform where you can share your doubts and talk about struggles that you've been facing in this quarantine. This is our initiative to get you extra support during this difficult time. We had received a set of 11 questions which broadly focused upon lack of motivation, academics, relationships, women and trans community. And today your wait is over. Today we have with us Dr. Priya Bhatnagar. She's a psychologist and an academician. She currently teaches at Jesus and Mary College in Delhi University. Dr. Priya Bhatnagar is here with us today to give us more clarity on how to take care of our mental health during this period of isolation.
Hi, Namaskar. I am Dr. Priya Bhatnagar, psychologist and academician. Hope in this quarantine period everybody's wellness and safety is ensured. I am here today to talk about certain imperative concerns raised during this period of quarantine. So friends, the first question that has come up to me is that how to focus on studying. I know I should study, but I keep wasting my time because I'm unable to do anything productive. Yes, friends, this is a very common problem that most of us are going through these days. We have a lot of things in mind that, we have to do, and we keep hanging on to it. We don't finish it, but we keep hanging on to it. So, friends, perhaps this is the space where all of us have to understand that this is the time where we can do things that have always been into the wish list to complete. Whenever we have had a wish list saying that, oh, I wish if I would have time, I would have done this, I would have done that. And today when we have time, yet we are not able to do this. This is also attributed to the state of mind where you feel, you are feeling very frustrated, you're irritated, you're feeling very blocked. Emotionally, you're feeling caged, you're not happy, being at one place, your freedom is curtailed. So what happens? Your adaptive mechanisms do not function that great. It's going to take you some time to work upon this factor. So I would certainly suggest here that please try and create a very, very doable to-do list. Something that can be achieved easily by you. Please start with that. Many times the problem that we face is we create very ambitious to-do list, and ultimately that just keeps sticking onto the wall or keeps hanging on in the phone. And whenever we take a look on that to-do list, we start feeling even more low because there is no tick mark on that to-do list. It keeps hanging on. So please start with something very doable, like let us say just completing one section of the chapter. Do not pick up entire units, do not pick up entire chapters, just section of one particular paper and one particular chapter. Friends, here another concern that students are facing is that they're not sure whether exams are going to be held, what would be the nature of exams, how would they do it, or how would the university function. There is no clear directive also as of now. However, friends, we need to understand that the learning process is always there. You always do not study to appear for exams, but you should also be studying for your own learning and benefit. So try and understand that it is important to get back to academics so that once the college reopens or your academic institution reopens, you are ready with the rigor. If at that time you would have not covered your syllabi or you would have not completed your assignments, then of course you would feel more pressured and burdened later. So it's important to gear up in that manner, pick up, and get back to very, very small, doable activities. So once you complete a small, let us say a section, pat your back. That's important. At times we do not appraise our own selves, which is where we fall very immediately. So do tasks which you know are doable, pick them up, complete them, finish them, put a tick mark on the to-do list and pat your back certainly. Hopefully this is going to help you here stay self-motivated. Yes? Okay, so the next question that comes up to me is that I am feeling aimless with such uncertainty. How to deal with this feeling? I completely second this kind of a feeling that is coming up to most of us. Yes, many times people are feeling quite aimless, directionless. They are not feeling very great from inside. They do not, the rigor is not coming in. They feel, the uncertainty is too high. We really don't know what is going to happen. I am not sure when this lockdown will get over. These questions come up very generic to us. What is going to happen once the lockdown reopens? How the life is going to be? Now, these are all future questions. And in trying to answer these uncertain or unclear future situations, what are you doing? You are simply spoiling your present. So, here it is important for you to not think about long-term future, but just to stick into your present. The present is that the nation has hit a pandemic situation, and this is a situation that none of us were prepared for. We did not have the mental emotional apparatus to deal with it, but however, it has come up to us. And now it is important for all of us to still find direction in it. Please develop aims that you think you always wanted to achieve. Take your 5 minutes of time, sit with yourself and think, what do I want to do? What do I want to do right now? What would I want to do maybe, let us say, in the evening today? How would I want my day to be tomorrow? How would I wish to see myself maybe post 1 week? So try and anchor yourself towards the present. Don't skate into the future, because future, yes, even in normal situations, future is so uncertain. We plan for future always, but who knows what is going to be the script actually, right? So try and take it as a normal phase. Please accept that it is a situation that has come up to us, and now in this tough situation also we have to find a solution to live. You have to feel inner driven. It's not always work, it's not always home, it's not always your friends that keep you directed. There has to be some kind of intrinsic motivation also. That is what you need to discover right now. Take up your time, write small aims that you always wanted to achieve. Start making a plan that is going to make you hit the aim, and execute the plan when time and space both allow. Hope this helps. The third question is that I don't feel motivated enough to work or study. How to keep myself positive and motivated? Like in the previous question, the concern is, almost the same denominator factor, feeling of being not motivated inside, not happy, aimless, directionless, negativity. Of course, friends, this is very common as a psychological state to come in. It is common, it is natural to come in. But then at the same time, it is also a human's effort to counter negativity through positivity. You have to make yourself positive. You have to say to yourself, it's okay if the situation has come up. I have been dealing with so many tough phases in life. This is yet another one. Let me just walk through this as well. And let me make my family and friends also walk through it. Let me just stand strong. Let me deal with it. Things are going to get back to normal. We have to be hopeful. Optimism has to come strong. These are all aspects of motivation that you have to speak to yourself almost every day. Please try and talk to people on positive terms when you connect. I hear people talking just negatively about quarantine. But there are very few people who talk positively about quarantine. And I think they are the ones who are motivating themselves and others and who are also benefiting from quarantine. So we do not have to complain as to what has come up to us as a situation. But what we have to do is we have to appraise the situation that we are in. We have to make the bestest effort. And I think one very important factor here is that you have to appreciate at least you are living, at least you have a life in this kind of a serious pandemic situation where people are losing their lives. You should appreciate your existence. Say thanks to your Almighty and just make full use of every single moment that you live. The next question that comes up is, I've been going through a breakup, and certainly even if I'm trying to move on, some kind of energy pulls me back. I can certainly understand the pain that one would go through when you are in a breakup phase. So when you are trying to mend or maybe just depart from a particular relationship, there is a huge set of emotional flux. Multiple emotional feelings is what is going to be inside you. So thoughts are going to be negative, emotions are going to be negative, and beyond that, lockdown. Of course, this is a tough situation because you would not able to get into a sense of social support. You will not be able to seek help. Your friends perhaps may not be there in their physical presence to help you with this time. But here, my dear friends and colleagues and dear ones, it is very important to understand that breakup in any relationship is painful. Be it a romantic relationship, be it a friend relationship, in any relationship it is painful. And it is you who has to derive that strength from you inside to deal with this pain. So it's important here to sit and evaluate the pros and cons of the relationship that you were in. To think and evaluate what were you receiving in the relationship? What were you investing in the relationship? Many times we derive these equations and we feel that we have been investing too much and receiving very less. So it's important for you here to appraise your relationship, to evaluate your relationship, to see actually, were you happy in the relationship? Was it giving you a feeling of goodness? Was it improving your quality of life? Are you happy? Were you happy being with him or her? Or today, without the person, you feel it is temporarily a tough phase, but later it's going to be smooth. You have to ask these questions to yourself. From emotionality, you have to move to rationality. From crying, sobbing, you have to orient yourself back to the present and ask these logical questions to your own self. Perhaps you will find an answer there. If your mind says, yes, you were not happy there, the relationship was fragile, it was lifeless, you get an answer then and there. You know that you have to move on. You know that it was not giving a sense of worth. It was not a worthful relationship. And if you are able to move on from the relationship with your own inner strength, there are very high chances you will be able to succeed A, faster, and B, not relapse. This is going to give you a new teaching in life. Whenever we have a departure from relationship, we should always look within and see where have I gone wrong. And you should also try and correct the mistakes on your part. And then move on. Closure is very important. Give a closure to yourself, to the opposite person, and then move on to the next relationship. Next question is that, is it normal to be away from your family and friends for a while? Of course, yes, it is normal. And every time we would not want to be clustered around with family and friends. It is absolutely fine for each one of us to be within our own selves. It is important to take that inner retreat. Take that inner retreat. We call it a self-healing time. Think about yourself at that time. Feel yourself. Integrate your own self back. And then move with this stronger, integrated self into different relationships. So it's absolutely normal. Take your time. And then with more energized, powerful self, get back to relationships and spread more positivity. The next question, how to take care of sleep deprivation as a problem. Now friends, here we will have to see that is it sleep deprivation in true nature, or is it oversleeping, or is it wrong cycle of sleeping. During quarantine period, we have a lot of problems being faced by people where their sleep cycle has got completely disrupted. They are not able to sleep on time, they are not able to get up, their biological cycle, the rhythm of the body has taken a different kind of a shape. So it's important, that you understand that why are you not able to get onto sleep. Is it that you are sleeping at the wrong hours? You are sleeping more in the day and you are awakened at night? Or is it that you have a lot of negative thoughts while you sleep? So if it is the latter case, then you have to do a shutdown to the mind. Like we shut down the computer, laptop, like a shopkeeper shuts down shutter of the shop, or you see a shutdown screen on your laptop. Similar way, you have to do a shutdown when there is no function or activity that happens in your brain or in the heart. That shutting down is important. Many times most of us are thinking, feeling while we are going to sleep, and our mind is constantly working. So it's churning, it's working, it's at work. And when something is at work and there is no complete shutdown, then how do you sleep? Sleep is a system where all your body, organs, mind, they have to go in a state of rest. They have to close. So it's important for you to close it, to shut it down, and then go on to sleep. So maybe if it is possible, you can perhaps read a little bit before you sleep, or you can listen to some soothing music before you sleep. And of course, please try and rework your sleep cycle in case if it is aberrated. The next question, how to control anger and avoid fights during quarantine. Yes, fights, anger, aggression has come up as a major concern. This is again because of the common denominator feelings that all of us are going with, feeling of extreme frustration because we feel blocked. Why does frustration come in? Because you're not able to do what you want to do. You're not able to go out. You're not able to get back to your work. Your normalcy has been taken away. But friends, here we have to understand that we have to start adjusting to the new normal. And the new normal is that the life is hit by a pandemic. So bring in the acceptance here. Try and understand that each member of the family is going through the same feeling. Empathize with family members. It's not only that you are irritated. It's not only that you are angry. Every member of the family, be it even the homemakers, the managers of the house, they are also those who don't go out throughout the day for work, but they work at home. They are also getting angry because their burden is also increased. Their normalcy has also been taken away. So all of us are operating at a lower level of threshold of anger and aggression. We are getting triggered very easily. So don't try and trigger others. Try and understand emotional state of other people. Step into their shoes and see the worldview from their side. And it's not you who's in this unusual state. It's all of us. So acceptance is important. Empathizing is important. Emotional control is important. Energize your emotions in a different way, in a more positive way. Start introspecting, start giving time to your own self. Get into the aspect of creativity. Do things which give you some pleasure. Maybe go and cook in the house, or maybe just do something creative. Maybe go and paint a picture. It's going to release out the anger. There are better ways of expression of discomfort than anger or aggression. The next question talks about I want to forget certain who have hurt me in the past and caused pain, and I want to lead my life positively. I want to focus more on the present than the past. I can resonate with the question. Perhaps there are life experiences which have been bitter. The person has been hit by negative life instances where perhaps you have had a lot of pain in the past from people. So here it is important again to pick up a learning from the incidents, to evaluate the incidents in a cognitive manner, to cognitively reappraise the situation. Think about the situation in an objective manner and just try and evaluate what went wrong from either sides. Don't do a blame game here. Try and be objective, try and be true to yourself, try and be genuine to yourself, and just try and think what went wrong. So whatever you could think must have gone wrong at your end, just try and correct that. Pick up a learning, correct that. This is how you are going to add positivity to your own self. Blaming others is not going to help. Just something that you can say to yourself is that if this thing has happened to me, I should reassure that I do not act vindictive or in the same way to other people. At least I can be good. I have had pain, that's okay. Pain is normal. Everybody goes through some or the other kind of pain. Emotional pain is painful, but then at the same time, it makes you even more stronger. Stronger to deal with life with more zeal, to deal with life with more maturity. So correct the situation there and forgive. Forgiveness is a very, very important virtue that each one of us need to inculcate in ourselves. Forgive and correct yourself and move on. The next question talks about it is hard for those to stay with their families, especially when the families are conservative. In such a case, the freedom is taken away. How can one maintain mental balance? Of course, this is a time where you are stuck with your families, and families are very conservative. They are in a state of denial. They have too much to block you with, and already you're feeling blocked. Your freedom is definitely taken away. But like I said before, this is the new normal. Accept the situation. Don't complain about it. Try and see why are your family members being so conservative. Try and work upon reconstruction of their schemas. Try and dispel their anxieties and worries that are related to you. Connect with them more strongly. Build that trust and faith in them. Otherwise, you would never get time to do that. Escapism is always not the right way. It's important that at this time you take advantage of the time, you spend with them, Sit with them, talk to them. What makes them so anxious? Give them facts and figures of progression. Tell them how world is becoming different, how everybody needs to grow and learn. Don't blame them, but just walk with them. Try and understand them also. Step into their shoes, empathize, and make them step into your shoes. Perhaps it will become better. The next question talks about trans community, which is not majorly being covered under the food distribution as they're already ostracized. Hence, suppression and discrimination adds to the frustration. How to maintain positivity then? I totally endorse this, friends. Trans community has been put to margins again, and the community is highly vulnerable. However, recent articles have suggested that people from transgender communities appealed to the government that they would want ration to come to them. Surety of ration should be there. 3,000 rupees per month as wage should be given to them. So this appeal has been made to the government, and perhaps it should get hearing. But then at the same time, friends, you can do whatever you wish to do. The government is going to operate at their own level, but you at your personal level can obviously offer help. So try and manage ways where you can offer help. And it's not important, to feel negative about it. It's important to empower them. It's not important to sympathize, but it's important to empathize and empower them. So do your bit, focus, and perhaps you can also write a letter, an open letter to the management, to the community in general. Run a drive of people who believe in the same concept, who think alike, who want to work for transgender community, who want to support them. Do it at your individual level, and perhaps it gets politically understood also. At least at this time, we can do our own bit. This is important, friends. So let's not wait for the hearing to come from government. Let's start today itself from our own nature, our own work to help the marginalized and the ostracized. Right? Okay, the next question that comes up is domestic violence and violence towards effeminate can grow during this time. It is still important to prioritize our mental health and maintain peace within. Yes, a lot of concerns have risen about the domestic violence and aggression that has risen up during the quarantine period, and this is again because of the feeling of being blocked, caged, not able to go to work, financial crunches and crisis, and needs becoming important. Then alcoholism is a very strong correlate here. People who have been on alcohol and now they are not receiving it, they are irritated and frustrated because of that also. And the recent that because the alcohol shops have been opened, people are gaining access to alcohol. Now, of course, they would want money to buy that alcohol, which is 70% more than the normal rate. And now the violence is going to increase for that. Yes, this is a true concern, but then at the same time, if you are in a family that shows this kind of a violence, please try and build peace there. Try and explain things logically to both the parties. And if it goes extremely beyond control, please report to the police. It's important here that we bring this concern to the notice of the police, right? So try and make peace, try and make people understand everybody's situation. And if it is not in control, if it goes really bad, if it starts into a damaging fashion, then please report the matter to the authorities. So friends, these were certain questions that had come up to me. I wish that during this quarantine period, each one of us maintain our mental health. It is extremely important. It is to be prioritized over everything. And we have to understand, we have to accept this as a phase. Like a chapter of a book gets over at some point of the time, we close that chapter and we move on to the next chapter. Similarly, this phase will also close and we will go on to the next phase of our routine, our normalcy. Till then, be with yourself, be with your friends, be with your families, derive intrinsic motivation, look into yourself more deeply with different lenses. This is the time to do that. Integrate yourself, energize it, power yourself back to hit the routine times. So, with this, I feel absolutely delighted to be able to, just articulate my expressions onto these questions, and I hope it helps. In case if you wish any kind of assistance, then you can always get back to project. Thank you so much, friends. Have a nice day. Bye. Namaskar.